We're right here.
We are right here. On a steel horse I ride. I got it in my head, man. I'm not going to be able to get it out.
Bon Jovi.
I like John Bovey better.
John Bovey.
Slippery When Wet. My favorite cover band of all time. But yeah, we're going to cover something today.
And what we're going to cover is... Are you ready for it?
I can't do a drum roll. Hold on.
Soyuz 11 and the Russians who died in space.
No cymbals, so I had to make that sound.
Are you aware of this story?
No, I don't know what happened.
The Russians that died in space. Ooh. So we got it written out. You ready for story time?
I am ready for story time.
All right. So a lot of this is Russian names and places. So if I'm pronouncing these incorrectly, I apologize to any Russians that listen.
I don't feel
like they
big
do.
Russian audience.
But just in case, here we go.
Pavlov was right.
Soyuz 11 and the Russians who died in space. Georgy Dobrovolsky, Vladislav Volkoy, and Viktor Petsayev were Russian astronauts who were aboard the Soyuz 11, which was the only manned space mission to reach the first space station, Salyut 1. The three men departed on their trip on June 6th, 1971, and arrived and docked at the Salyut 1 on the following day, June 7th. The astronauts remained on board the space station for a total of 22 days, which at the time was a world record regarding space endurance. The men would hold this title for a little under 2 years when it was eventually broken by the American Skylab mission in May 1973. Before leaving, Alexei Leonov, who was originally supposed to be the commander for the Soyuz 11, had advised the men that they would need to manually close the valves between the orbital and descent modules before their flight, because he did not trust them to shut automatically. This warning was disregarded by the three astronauts.
Why not, you know? Oh, really? Fuck that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
So...
Wait.
All right.
We're the astronauts.
When the men first entered the station, they encountered a smoky and burnt-smelling atmosphere.
They were probably just having a stroke.
They replaced part of the ventilation system and spent the next day back on the Soyuz 11 until the air had been cleared out in the station.
Somebody farted.
Once back inside the station, they had a productive mission. This included live television broadcasts with the Russian newspaper Pravda releasing news of the mission and regular updates while it was in progress.
Well, that's going to work out.
On the 11th day of their stay, a fire broke out.
Sweet.
But they were able to quickly extinguish it. The fire led some mission planners to consider aborting the mission altogether and getting the men back home, but they decided to stay the duration of the original planned time frame.
No, we stay. We stay. Don't worry about it. We stay.
Conditions continued to prove unfit to be able to stay the intended time.
Uh-oh.
One such reason was that the treadmill that they were required to use twice a day would shake and cause the whole station to vibrate while in use.
Maybe they were just too fat.
The team decided to head back to Earth on June 29th, 1971. On June 30th, 1971, after an apparently normal re-entry, the recovery team for the Soyuz 11 opened the capsule to find all three men dead.
You notice how all this crazy shit's happening in 1971?
Yeah.
What a fucking weird year. So, he opens the capsule, and all three of the men are dead.
Yep. So, Karim Koromov, chairman of the State Commission, stated, quote, "Outwardly, there was no damage whatsoever. They knocked on the side, but there was no response from within. On opening the hatch, they found all three men in their couches motionless with dark blue patches on their faces and trails of blood from their noses and ears."
Wonder if they had, like, nitrogen buildup.
They removed them from the descent module. Dobrovolsky was still warm. The doctors gave artificial respiration. Based on their reports, the cause of death was suffocation.
Oh, so they ran out of oxygen in there, pretty much.
Well, it became apparent very quickly that the men had asphyxiated.
Oh.
They were able to trace the issue back to a breathing ventilation valve. The valve was located between the orbital module and the descent module, and it had been jolted open when the module separated only 12 minutes and 3 seconds after retrofire. The two modules were held together by explosive bolts that were designed to fire one after the other, but they had fired simultaneously. The explosive force of both bolts firing at the same time caused the internal mechanism of the pressure equalization valve to loosen a seal that allowed the automatic adjustment of the cabin pressure. The valve opened at 551,000 feet, and the result was a loss of pressure that was fatal within seconds. By 15 minutes and 35 seconds after retrofire, the cabin pressure was at 0.
Okay, I'm seeing.
The pressure remained at 0 until the capsule had entered Earth's atmosphere. Petsayev's body was found near the valve, suggesting that he may have been attempting to close or block the valve and then lost consciousness.
Oh, man, so he knew what was happening. Too bad.
An extensive investigation was conducted to study all the components and systems of Soyuz 11. An examination of the descent module showed that it was in excellent condition and no damage in the form of cracks or ruptures could be found.
Okay, so basically, mystery.
So autopsies of the men took place at Berdinko Military Hospital. It was found that the men had also experienced brain hemorrhaging, which occurred as exposure to a vacuum environment caused the oxygen and nitrogen in their bloodstreams to bubble and rupture their blood vessels.
Yep. Classic.
Heavy concentrations of lactic acid was also found in their blood, consistent with the signs of physiological stress.
Yeah, I would imagine that is a pretty stressful situation for your fucking arteries to explode.
Oh, fuck. That's not good.
Well, looks like I'm under stress. Looks like
That's obviously not supposed to happen.
I look like Spider-Man, but with blood.
Although it is possible that the men could have remained conscious for almost a minute with this condition.
Oh, no.
It would have taken less than 20 seconds for them to begin to feel the effects of oxygen starvation.
Oh, no.
And it would have made it impossible for them to function.
Dude, I bet they fucking went crazy, too. Because you got to think, not enough oxygen to your brain.
And you got to think, too, like, a minute doesn't seem like a long time.
But when your arteries are exploding...
it's a long time.
It's like a year.
Yeah, that's a long time to just be feeling that.
And not be able to move.
Or do anything about it.
Yeah,
and you're fully conscious.
You know you're going to die.
You know you're dying and you feel your body exploding.
There's no way to not die from that. You're exploding you're spontaneously combusting.
Alexei Leonov, the one that was supposed to go up there with them, but ultimately didn't. Upon hearing of the deaths of the 3 astronauts, he went back and tried to close one of the valves himself. And he found that it took him nearly a minute to do so under normal conditions. This would have been far too long to do in an emergency situation with the spacecraft's atmosphere escaping quickly.
They tried.
And it was the same valve that he had warned them about.
Guys.
Talk about foreshadowing.
I know, right? He's like, guys, you don't want... It's like Final Destination. Guys, you don't want to fuck around with this. I don't know what he's talking about. He's staying here anyway. Why does he fucking care?
Yeah, he said, hey, be sure that you close that manually because it probably won't do it right by itself. And what happened? It malfunctioned and closed the wrong way, and then they died.
And then they died.
And then Russia, being Russia, the Soviet state media attempted to downplay the tragedy.
What did they say?
Instead, they focused on emphasizing the accomplishments made by the crew when they were aboard the space station. The Soviet government did not publicly announce the exact cause of death for almost 2 years afterward.
What the fuck? So okay.
They did not release what happened until 1973, 2 years after they had died.
Understand that part. What I'm trying to wrap my head around is, what was their fucking excuse? You know, these guys just died. I don't know. They went to space and they came back. They're dead. You know, like, what the fuck? How does that work?
Aliens.
And then people are just like, oh man, these guys, they know what they're talking about. Clearly, they're in suits. They're on TV. Fuck. Who am I? I'm just a fucking potato farmer in Russia. You know.
Since there was no detail on what had happened
Uh-oh.
that had caused their deaths, U.S. space planners were worried about the upcoming Skylab mission.
Nah, pussies.
Because they could not be certain whether prolonged time in zero gravity could potentially be fatal.
Now we know.
NASA doctor Charles Berry maintained a firm conviction that the astronauts could not have died in these conditions, but worries were still present. Until the Soviets had disclosed what actually happened, Dr. Berry had theorized that the crew died because of inhaling toxic substances possibly found in space.
Sweet. Space drugs.
Dude, they fuck you up so good.
We found some space drugs, man. Fuck it. Don't close that thing over there. Don't close that valve. We need all the space drug air we can get. Space drug.
U.S. President Richard Nixon issued the following statement.
Oh boy.
The American people join.
You're gonna talk like you got something in your throat, but at the same time.
He said, the American people join in expressing to you and the Soviet people our deepest sympathy on the tragic deaths of the 3 Soviet cosmonauts. The whole world followed the exploits of these courageous explorers of the unknown and shares the anguish of their tragedy. But the achievements of cosmonauts Dobrovolsky, Volkoy, and Petsayev remain. It will, I'm sure, prove to have contributed greatly to the further achievements of the Soviet program for the exploration of space, and thus to the widening of man's horizons. And I'm not a crook.
Did he say that at the end? Yeah. You know what? By the way,
this will come in handy like a year from now. I'm not a crook.
Watergate, that kept Tom Sawyer hydrated. That's so stupid. Fucking dumb. He didn't even build the fence. That was another guy.
Watergate does not bother me.
Does it bother? Does your conscience
Does
bother
your
you?
conscience bother you?
Kind of dumb shit. Leonard Skinner, fucking Ronnie Van Zant. You don't know what you're talking about
That's like the only time they ever touched on politics, and it doesn't make sense.
at all. Watergate doesn't bother him because he's too dumb to figure out what it means.
Ooh.
What actually transpired.
Speaking ill of the dead.
Well, when he hit all those trees.
He was, the men were
okay.
given a large state funeral and were buried in the Kremlin Wall necropolis at Red Square, Moscow. They were all 3 awarded the Hero of the Soviet Union medal after their death.
I think it's pretty cool that even then they were still ahead in the space race, which, is part of the reason that we claimed we landed on the moon.
You don't think we did?
I just want to be that guy. Could you imagine?
How could we? It's all the way up there.
Yeah, we don't have a rocket. That's stuff in movies. But no, we didn't need a reason to get ahead in the space race, though. Which I don't really understand because, the Cold War was a thing that, didn't even come to a head, really. But everybody was scared of it. Everybody's like, oh man, the commies. Those damn commies.
They're going to beat us on Earth and in space.
And in space. We can't let that happen. Maybe the U.S. sabotaged the valve.
Space cannot afford to have communists.
Space cannot afford to have all those potatoes and vodka.
Vodka.
Vodka's good. You said,
Sometimes.
You gotta pretend you're drinking rubbing alcohol. That way you know what you're going into.
Oh, well, see, I don't like to pretend that I'm doing that. So
You gotta pretend, man. Where's your imagination?
Well,
It's dead. You have a dormant imagination, Jordan.
I don't think that is the issue. I think the issue is
The issue of tissue.
Yeah, the issue is that
That was a Jeffrey Dahmer cookbook.
I like to enjoy my beverages.
Oh.
Now, if they have a bite to it, you
Yeah.
know, like all alcohol has a little bit of a kick in it, but
Woo!
there's a difference between drinking bourbon and feeling that like warm, fuzzy feeling in your throat and then drinking fucking rubbing alcohol.
Let's do it right now.
Drink rubbing alcohol?
I don't have any.
But you have vodka?
I don't have any vodka.
Oh.
That's what I was talking about.
You have potatoes? We can make some.
We can if you're bored enough. Since we've been talking about Russia and space, maybe if they,
We're going to bring moonshining back, but it's going to be vodka instead of moonshine.
We should get trashed on moonshine on this show.
Whew.
See what happens.
You want to go get some moonshine?
Just see how controversial it becomes. I got some stuff I want to say about Anthony Weiner.
Well, I mean, you can say it.
Yeah,
we
but
still got. It's only 16 minutes in. That
still-
story didn't take as long as I thought it would.
I want to get even more drunk, though, and yell about it. Those guys, they got kicked out over there, the meth people.
No one's over there now.
Nope. They did so much meth, though, that they were literally meth people. Like, they walk out crystally. It's crazy. But no.
They looked like nerds rope,
Yeah. But with meth.
but white.
And sometimes their kids would walk up the street here a little bit, and you'd get to see how depraved they were.
You know, like having to pick their legs back up after they fall off and
Yeah.
put them back in place.
They walked by once while Walmart was delivering my groceries, and I was like, "These are groceries." Say it with me, groceries.
Good day.
Poverty.
Now, just to clarify, they were not retarded.
No, they were just meth kids.
They looked like children after like a nuclear fallout.
Children of the crack, not children of the corn. Children of
Stephen King's lesser known title.
it's about,
Children of the Crack.
It's about us. Not us, but like the
Doubleday
area.
Publishing said, how about we change crack to something a little more accessible?
Like corn. You are in Nebraska,
And
however.
Stephen King, being coked out of his mind,
Genius.
said, you're correct.
Do you have any more cocaine? God, dude, he used to. You know the funniest thing about Stephen King is he just black out and rot.
Yeah, he has gone on record saying that he does not remember writing the novels Misery, The Shining, or Cujo.
Yeah, he doesn't remember.
He doesn't remember writing them at all.
Cocaine's crazy.
Because he was so, like, coked out.
And fucked up. Whenever he stopped smoking cigarettes, he said that he had writer's block.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, pfft.
What a pussy.
Whenever I quit smoking cigarettes, I just wanted to stab somebody.
Yeah, I still haven't had a cigarette, speaking of that, since January 1st of this year.
Do you miss it?
No, surprisingly, actually. I did the vape thing, right?
Yeah.
So I still had nicotine, but now I find myself even vaping less.
Yeah, vaping's not that great.
It is to an extent.
It's just not the same, dude.
Yeah.
And it makes you not want to do it because you get that nasty film on your fucking mouth and shit.
Sometimes, yeah.
I quit vaping altogether just due to that fact. And I haven't really had any cigarettes or anything. I got drunk and smoked like 2 cigarettes the other day. I got super drunk, though. You don't understand. So I needed something.
During the day?
Well, it was Sunday evening. It was around 4 o'clock. And, we kept, I kept slamming vodka because I didn't have anything to do. So then I walked down to Matt's house over here, and this guy named Drake had vodka.
Vodka.
Yeah, it was vodka and tequila. It was the worst decision I'd ever made because then I went to sleep that night and couldn't because it felt like my insides were just being ripped apart.
Yeah, nothing like potatoes and Mexico mixed together.
Ground beef.
Potatoes and burritos.
Yeah, apparently Taco Bell has something against that. taking their potatoes off the fucking menu.
They removed a bunch of their shit.
They were like, you know what? We want our menu to be economical. You mean you don't want people to come to Taco Bell? You mean
Is that what they said? Economical?
Yeah, they said they wanted to be more economical in these trying times, but I don't really
The
see.
fuck does that mean?
I don't really see what's so hard about putting potatoes in a burrito and folding it up.
You already have like $17 menu items.
You gotta understand.
Took economical to a different fucking level.
Yeah, but this company also is the same company that donated money to Donald Trump's campaign fund. Doesn't really make any sense why he would need donations. I mean, isn't he like the richest guy or whatever? Well, what you don't understand is that he doesn't take a salary.
He's not getting paid to be president. He obviously loved the goddamn country.
He thinks we're the best, boy. He's doing it out of his goodness, his heart.
He is. He said, look at America, it's fucked up. I'm gonna make it great again.
Man, you know what's best about people that actually sound like that?
What?
Sadly, they sound better when they're fucking their sister. You said you had to turn away. You had to turn away.
Whenever I see someone wearing a MAGA hat, I'm just like, damn. Save some cousins for the rest of us.
My sister has this theory that the MAGA hats are actually a mind control device, which makes sense because these people, like Donald Trump, could come on the TV tomorrow and say, "I will admit it, I held my daughter down and I did fuck her." And everyone would be like, that's not what he meant. What he meant to say was, he just misunderstood.
What he meant to say was, God guns family.
Yeah, he's a family man. That's why he likes to fuck his daughter.
And he's a godly man.
He's a God-fearing man. That's why he grabbed a pussy.
If God didn't want us to, then why'd he put it there? Like, that's the mindset of some of these fucking people.
Yeah, I know. And then they wonder why there are riots in the streets.
They wonder why there's riots and why their children have 7 eyes.
Quit inbreeding. Quit voting. Like 2 things that you can do that would help the country out a lot. Basically, it's just I feel like everybody just needs to stop voting. We just need to fucking be like, fuck you guys. Do what you want.
Well, yeah, I mean, our vote doesn't matter anyway.
It doesn't matter.
Because the Electoral College.
Dude, I knew that, okay, I was around 11 years old, 10 years, no, I was probably around 6 or 7 when this happened. Whenever George W. Bush got reelected, well, he got elected the first time, he asked for like 4 recounts. That's when I knew it was bullshit. I was like, how are you going to get them to count like 4 times and then like the 4th time, miraculously, you're the winner all of a sudden? And it really wouldn't have been any good thing for us, really, because Al Gore can't spell fucking potato. So.
Well, he invented the internet.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He said, well, he invented the internet.
I mean, that's what he ran on. You know, I invented the internet.
Guess what I did? Why does he sounds like a great value Bill Clinton.
He is. That's because he is.
I hated Bill Clinton, too. I mean, everybody was like, you know what? He did great for the economy. Really, it wasn't him. It was the corporations that were paying him to pass laws in their favor, which actually did stimulate the economy for a little bit. But you've got to understand that these corporations aren't really sustainable in building, more economic growth. So, wait, wrong meeting. Sorry.
I would tell you a joke about trickle-down economics, but you wouldn't get any of it.
You really would. Still waiting for that wealth to come down. Can you believe it's been like since '84?
Now, to an extent, I believe that it could have worked.
If Ronald Reagan wasn't such a greedy bastard.
Yeah, because he had some pretty decent ideas. He just went about them the wrong way.
Yeah, and honestly, can I talk about something really controversial?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and this actually pisses my dad off, my stance on it, I guess. It pisses a lot of people off, my stance on it, but it's the fucking truth. Do you know what you do when you sign up to go to war?
Well, I mean, I did the draft.
I understand that. But you pretty much agree.
Like volunteering to be active duty.
Exactly. You agree that your life could be taken at any moment, under any circumstances whatsoever, and you're fighting for the greater good of the country, not yourself and not your life. You're putting your life on the line for millions of other people. That's what you agree to. So these guys go over there. They get caught. They're prisoners of war at that point. Ronald Reagan decides that he's going to trade arms for them.
Oh, yeah, the Iran-Contra affair.
Yeah. Seriously?
Yeah. That,
And everybody's like, Seth, you're a bad person. Why wouldn't you want to save those American lives? Well, it's because those American lives agreed to do something that you won't fucking do, and they said, hey, if we die in the process...
But these are also the same people that got upset about Benghazi.
Ooh, don't tread that territory, bud.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's true, though. It's true.
Any loss of American life, especially in the line of duty like that, is bad.
Obviously.
Let me preface that I think it's bad.
Well, obviously any loss of life is bad, but
yeah, especially...
the agreement that they have made.
Right. And the thing is, if we can get them out safely without putting ourselves in danger from backdoor deals...
Which we did.
Like, if we can get them out without doing that, then awesome. But if we have to give them guns...
Just put our country in more danger, sure, why not?
Yes.
You know?
Like...
And everybody's like, he's the greatest president to ever live. I'm like, no, not really. He lied about the economy and how he was going to fix it. Didn't work. We're still struggling from it today. He did shady shit with the whole Iran-Contra deal. His fucking wife was a stockholder in a bomb manufacturing plant. Shit like that. So, I mean, obviously they wanted to distribute these fucking bombs as soon as possible and drop them.
Well, he was just a good old boy, and he came in there, and he fixed us. And Donald Trump is doing the same thing!
You're right. I'm sorry that I argued. I give up. You know what? I feel like that's what everybody should just do at this point because we're not getting anywhere.
Yeah, so the thing is too, like, a lot of people's argument is like, okay, well, I still support a lot of Donald Trump's policies. It's like, all right, cool, that's fine. Well, I mean, even if they can give a good reason of why they support it, at the same time, it's like, all right, cool, but in order for that policy to happen, he's still a fucking racist.
Well, they can't even name the policies. That's the thing that I'm saying, like, because...
well, yeah, I mean...
Realistically, he hasn't really given any. You know what I mean?
Where's that wall at?
Yeah, where's all the shit that he's just...
that Mexico shit.
Everybody
that
forgot
Mexico
about it.
Was gonna pay for it.
Yeah, everybody just forgot about that shit. All of a sudden, and you know what? The coronavirus, let's just remember that the coronavirus was just a hoax. It didn't exist in China. It was never real. It wasn't going to hit us. It never would hit us. If it does hit us, it's just going to magically disappear. Yeah. That was said like, I don't know, 8 months ago, and look where we're at. That's probably not 8 months ago.
Like 3 months ago.
Yeah, it was like 3 months ago. Yeah. Look where we're at now, though.
We're the only fucking country that still is rising in cases.
Yeah, I know. It's because people keep going. Like, my friend Lindsay was telling me about her sister-in-law. Her husband was diagnosed with COVID-19. She was ordered to stay at home. She's just been running around going to fucking thrift stores and shit. People are so fucking stupid out here, dude.
Like...
People are so fucking stupid. Like, how do you expect to get this under control?
Yeah, and the argument that they use is, well, it's just another strain of the flu. Yeah, that's true. And we could have handled it just like the flu if y'all fucking listened.
Not only that.
Like...
they say that it's a strain of the flu. There's no cure
My amendment is being taken away! I can't wear a mask!
There's no cure for this.
I know.
It's not like the fucking flu. I mean, yeah, I get that it's like similar to it with the...
Yeah, but the thing is, there's a vaccine for the flu, which y'all still don't fucking get.
And there aren't serious complications that last after you get the flu. Once you get the flu and it's gone, usually you're good. But if you get COVID-19, some people still have like scar tissue in their lungs. They can't fucking breathe properly still. After they are fucking cleared of this shit, they still are having issues breathing. People are finding out like stuff with their brain. It's fucking with their brain somehow. Like, I mean, it's a pretty serious disease.
Yeah, my cousin has it, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I don't live close to her, but...
Right. How is it affecting her? I mean, because, it affects people differently.
So, she started... we're going a little long, but that's all right. She started having, like, a sore throat.
Yeah.
She thought it was just allergies.
Mm-hmm.
And then she went and got tested because where she works, if you show signs of it,
You have to.
They want you to go get tested. So, and they pay for the testing, too. So she was like, okay, fine, I'll go. And she went, and it takes a couple of days to get the results back. So, she wasn't going to work. She wasn't going anywhere. And the results came back. She tested positive. Right now... She said it's not too bad, but it's getting, like, progressively worse.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't have a fever anymore right now,
Yeah.
but it's just really hard to, like, catch her breath.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so she's doing okay, and I don't think she's going to die from it because she doesn't have, like, any underlying health issues.
Right.
But, yeah, she does say that it's
terrible. You feel like shit.
very difficult to breathe, and you just feel like... your body is just weak all the time.
Yeah. Luckily, it usually only lasts about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you can make it past that, it's those people that end up getting hooked up on ventilators and shit.
Yeah, and like I said, it's only that good for her because she doesn't have any like underlying
health
issues.
conditions.
Yeah.
Like you don't know how it's going to affect you anyway. Really, I mean, you could be perfectly healthy too. That's another thing.
Yeah.
And it could still fuck with you pretty hard.
Yeah, you could even be asymptomatic, and for you retards that don't know what that means, it means that you are sick, but you're not showing symptoms of it, and you're just getting other people sick because you're being a selfish asshole.
Yeah, but that's just a Democratic ploy. You don't understand.
Oh, you're right. That's because they want to track you.
Yeah, it's a Democratic hoax.
Let me tell you something.
The quantum dot tattoo.
Let me tell you something. You are not worth tracking.
No, seriously, there's a guy that I work with. There's a guy that I work with that believes that Bill Gates...
That we work with.
Well, he doesn't work with us anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, he believes that Bill Gates is going to create the vaccine for COVID-19, and it's going to be the mark of the beast. And yeah.
The end times argument. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's my, he was like, you better be prepared. You better not take that vaccine. And I'm just like, dude, they said the same thing about the flu vaccine.
It's been the end times since the beginning of time.
I know it has. No, everybody's so stupid. Like, how can you have your head up your ass?
If y'all want to get technical, the end times, if you believe that, is it says that there's going to be a lot of war. And everyone's like, well, we've been in a war for 15 fucking years. And yeah, we have. But if you look at it statistically, this is the most peaceful time in almost like 4,000 years.
Fact. This kind of proves your whole thing wrong there, you little fairy tale.
And
they always talk about disease and stuff, but they didn't have a cure for the Spanish flu either.
Yeah.
In 1918.
Was that a government ploy to track people?
No, it was just Jesus is going to come back and save us all from...
Oh, that was Sky Daddy saying, hey, it's time, everyone.
I just wanted to let you know by killing half of you that it's time to come hang out with Jim Morrison and play for the Doors in heaven. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we went a little bit long and got way off topic from the Russians that died in space.
We did. It's a solid episode, very juicy.
But hopefully you all enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time.
He said Sky Daddy.